Tonight, you will participate in the most vulnerable act a human being can endure. You will lock your doors, turn off the lights, and close your eyes, deliberately rendering yourself unconscious for 8 hours. And you will do this completely assuming you are safe. Right now, you are warm and you don't even have to try. You have temperature control, a thick mattress, and walls of wood, brick, and glass keeping the outside world exactly where it belongs. You live in a world where the night has been defeated. Now, take all of that away. You are lying on the bare, freezing ground 100,000 years ago. The sun has just set, and you are plunged into absolute, suffocating darkness. For 99% of human history, closing your eyes meant you might not open them again. The night did not belong to us. It belonged to predators built specifically to hunt in the dark. By every biological measure, humans are pathetic night survivors. You can't see well in the dark, you can't smell predators from a distance, and your hearing is mediocre. While you were practically blind, you were surrounded by apex killers that spent millions of years evolving to hunt large mammals. Out there in the dark was the saber-toothed cat, a 600-pound ambush predator with 11-inch canines. There was the short-faced bear, a 2,000-pound hyper-carnivore that could sprint 40 miles per hour. And worst of all, the cave hyena. They were larger than modern hyenas, possessing a bone-crushing bite force of 1,100 pounds per square inch. For context, your bite is about 162 pounds per square inch. Cave hyenas hunted at night in coordinated packs of 20 or more. And what were your natural defenses? Nothing. A chimpanzee is 3 times stronger than an adult human and can climb 30 feet into a tree in seconds. We were slower, weaker, and completely naked. Our teeth are flat. Our nails are useless. We were soft, hairless primates wrapped in meat, and our babies screamed constantly and couldn't even walk for a year. For millions of years, we weren't the hunters. We were the hunted. So, with the world's most terrifying predators prowling in the pitch black, how did your ancestors actually manage to close their eyes without going extinct? The first and most critical answer is fire. In Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, archaeologists discovered evidence of controlled fire dating back 1 million years. This wasn't just about staying warm, it was about drawing a line in the dirt that monsters couldn't cross. A campfire creates a psychological and physical safety zone roughly 30 feet in diameter. Predators, even the most massive apex killers, are hardwired by evolution to avoid fire. Inside that 30-foot circle of light, you were safe. Fire fundamentally changed the human sleep experience. It gave us light when we couldn't see, and it kept the predators at the edge of the shadows. It gave us the ability to turn the terrifying, deadly night into a sanctuary. But out on the open plains during the Ice Age, fire wasn't enough to stop the freezing wind or a determined pack of predators. You couldn't just sleep on the ground, you had to build a fortress. Everyone pictures ancient humans hiding in deep caves, but the truth is much more impressive. In places like modern-day Ukraine and Russia, there were no caves and barely any trees. So, ancient humans built homes out of the only material they had, giants. They constructed round houses made almost entirely from mammoth bones and tusks. Skulls and massive leg bones went into the ground as the base, while ribs and tusks curved up to make the roof frame. They packed the bones with hides, earth, and moss. These weren't crude tents. They engineered cold trap doorways, digging the entrance lower than the sleeping area so the heavy, freezing air would sink, while the warm air from the fire rose up to where the family slept. They were sleeping inside the rib cages of mammoths to keep the monsters and the winter out. But a fire goes out if nobody feeds it, and a shelter is only as safe as the people guarding the door. That's why you never, ever slept alone. Today, we consider having our own private, quiet bedroom to be a luxury. In the ancient world, the person with a room to themselves wasn't lucky. They were exposed, freezing, and vulnerable. It was usually those living alone who died first. Survival depended entirely on your relationships. People packed closely together on purpose, sharing body heat to survive freezing temperatures, essentially acting as each other's furnace. But sleeping in a massive group provided something else, a security system. When 30 people sleep around a fire, someone is always in a lighter stage of sleep. Someone is always semi-conscious. We know they protected each other because the bones prove it. In Georgia, archaeologists found the 1.8-million-year-old skull of an ancient human who had lost all of their teeth years before they died. In a brutal world where a lion with no teeth starves to death, this human survived for years. Someone in the tribe was chewing their food for them. They survived the night because the tribe guarded them while they slept. You could fall into deep sleep because you implicitly trusted that the tribe would wake you if the yellow eyes got too close. Even safe in your mammoth-bone shelter, the way you slept looked absolutely nothing like what we do today. Today, you are expected to sleep in one continuous, unbroken 8-hour block. If you wake up at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, you call it insomnia. You stress out. You panic about being tired for work. Your ancestors didn't sleep that way. Before the invention of artificial light, humans naturally slept in two distinct phases. When the sun went down, you would drift off into a first sleep for about 4 hours. Then, right in the middle of the pitch-black night, you would wake up. For 1 to 2 hours, the entire camp was awake in complete darkness. This wasn't a time of panic or anxiety. People would stay by the fire, tend to the flames, and talk. During the day, conversations were strictly about practical survival. But anthropologists found that at night around the fire, 81% of conversations shifted to stories. This middle-of-the-night period is where humans talked about myths, spirits, and ancestors. It's when someone deep in a cave used firelight to paint beautiful complex lions and horses on the walls. It is where human culture was actually born. After an hour or two of storytelling, you would naturally drift back into a second sleep for another 4 hours until dawn. Today, you spend roughly 90,000 hours of your life working. We built boxes of wood and glass to lock the night out. We eliminated the cave hyenas and the saber-toothed cats. We made the world so completely safe that we no longer have to sleep in shifts or huddle together for warmth. We sleep in perfect physical safety, yet we lie awake full of anxiety. Our ancestors slept in the dirt surrounded by monsters, yet they woke up rested, at peace, with nothing to prove to anyone. They were already living the life you're working your entire existence to retire into. We conquered the night, we destroyed the monsters, only to completely forget how to sleep.